Two master keys to understand the grand scheme of God. The author of the book has emphasized in his talks numerous times that in order to understand the grand scheme of God, one must have a clear understanding of the two master keys, which include 1. Concept of God, 2. Concept of self. In this brief talk, I will mention a few points about these two concepts, and God willing, I will record detailed understanding of the two concepts later. So let's deal with the concept of God first. According to the Holy Quran, there is nothing comparable to God in this universe. Therefore, we cannot form any image of His being or His personality. This means that we can only know Him through His attributes. The Quran says that He is a person, a mind who does not possess any bad attributes or weaknesses and simultaneously masters all good attributes to the point of perfection. Now let's talk about the concept of self. The human being has three aspects. One is the actual personality called soul, second is the body, and the third is ruh, the spirit. I will briefly talk about these three aspects of human being. Let's deal with the actual personality first, that is soul. This is a spiritual being which is a non-matter, complete personality or entity. This was created in the permanent word. The Quran terms this spiritual being as nafs. These personalities or nufus were put to slumber after the covenant with God in the permanent word. This covenant is referred to in chapter 7 of Quran, known as Surah Al-Araf, verse 172. These nufus are brought from that order of existence and attached to the hearts of the physical bodies in the womb of the mothers after around 120 days from conception. Moral concepts, aesthetical concepts, and mathematical concepts relate to this actual personality that is spiritual being. But we should always keep in mind that human beings' test, that is, spiritual beings' test is confined to the moral concepts only. He is not under test with regards to other concepts, that is, aesthetical concepts or mathematical concepts. Now let's talk about his body. This body is also a creation of God and is provided to the actual personality, that is the spiritual being, as a carrier for a limited time to use and not to misuse. The body acts on the principle of survival of the self and survival of the species, just like other animals. For the survival of the self, the human beings eat, drink, and make shelter. For the survival of the species, the male and female act instinctively, mate and procreate. The term nafsul amara in the Quran refers to this sexual instinct. Now let's talk about ruh, that is spirit. This is the spirit or divine spark of God, which could be termed as conscience. The Quran describes it as nafs lawama. It is attached with the body, that is carrier, for further guidance of the actual personality. The function of the spirit or divine spark or the conscience is to rebuke the actual personality, that is, spiritual being, on the commission of bad deeds. This is termed as trust or al-amana in Quran in Surah Al-Ahzab. Let me conclude by saying the actual personality, that is soul, is the driver of the body, and its basic test is to keep the body, that is carrier, within certain limits for a specified period, that is, until the biological death of the physical body, while ruh is the spirit of God. Thank you.